Back in February, I bought a action camera from Banggood, from China, and it stopped working. So I sent it back to China and get it fixed. It took a long time, a lot of email. It was really testing my patience. At the end, I just tell them, okay, you know what? It's still in your inventory. Just send me a new one, and that is what they did. So doing another unboxing video. Let's open it and see what is inside. I'm hoping they are sending me a new camera, not the fixing or refurbish of my old one. Let's have a look. So the camera I bought is called Git2p. I'm not sure if I pronounce it correctly. And it's the Git2p, which stands for version 2 and is professional. It is the only action camera which I know comes with gyro, stabilization, and also a 90 degrees field of view. So a lot of action camera out there covers the 120 or even 170 wide angle. It also often gives you a fisheye effect, and that's not something I enjoy, especially doing video review or very up close in terms of a vlog camera or just a general camera. So I find that 90 degrees is what I needed. So not many on the market, and I quite enjoy using the Git2p camera while it was working. So camera wise, like any other GoPro or equivalent camera, it's a tiny camera. And let's see what we have in here. Just peel that off. My main concern with the camera before is that while it was working, it was fantastic, but it developed a fault where any media card that you put in there, it just won't recognize. It will say wrong format size or please format card, but no matter what you do to the camera, it just won't record. The camera that I sent back is almost perfect because I only had it a couple of months, and I remember there was this tiny scratch on the corner where I dropped the camera, but it doesn't look like that anymore. So it looks like they have sent me a new unit. So if I go and find a media card, then it should work. But I'm quite disappointed that, you know, when I send my old camera back to them just to prove that the camera is not working, I did send a media card with it, but it doesn't look like it came back. So, but it's only a 8 GB rubbish card, so I'm not overly concerned about that. I wasn't going to use that anyway. Okay, let's switch it on. Okay, it's not much battery in there as usual. At the moment it's set to 1080p, 60 frames per second, which is usually what I use. And let's see if it recognizes the SD card. Okay, turn it on. Okay, format card. Okay, so far so good. Everything is how it's supposed to be. Right, so let's talk about buying from China. I love buying from China because first of all, you pay a lot less than what you would have in the retail market in the UK. And also, I think there is a lot of product which is not really marketed in this country, where, for example, like an action camera like this, there is loads on the market, Maplins or Argos or anywhere that you can find them, but nothing that can shoot up to 2K with a gyro. But in China, they are more open-minded to what's supposed to be mainstream and what's supposed to be a niche market for technology. And I find that a lot of times that I prefer to buy from China. The only downside is that you are buying from a country which is like thousands of miles away, where customer service is not their strong department. But I've been buying from China for the last 4 or 5 years, and touch wood, so far I haven't come across any problem. And whenever there is a problem, there is many ways that you can help yourself to get this to make the situation better. One is that you have to be patient. Usually Chinese, retailer, they deal with like thousands and thousands of transactions, and they are international. They don't just look after a UK market or American market. They ship to funny places like Argentina, Brazil. So you can imagine, like, 1 or 2 Chinese customer service sitting at the desk have to deal with literally thousands of orders a day. And whenever you send them an email or correspondence, it probably takes them a day or 2 just to catch up with what they need to do. So you have to be patient. And secondly, don't mind their English. They call you friend. Don't get offended sometimes what they trying to offer you. So sometimes they will say, send it back to us, or we knock a bit of money off for you. Don't settle for what they suggest for you. Insist of getting what you want in return. At the end of the day, you bought a product and you want a working product. Make sure you document everything, and every time you send them an email, reply an email, make sure that you copy in all the previous emails that you have sent them. Another protection that I always use is pay through PayPal. There's no way I'm going to just give them my credit card details and let them charge me through. So with PayPal, you got a certain layer of protection. For example, if the camera doesn't turn up or if it doesn't work within a certain time, you can always start a dispute. But for me, dispute is the last resort. It wastes time. It wastes my time, it wastes their time. So whenever I speak to customer service overseas, especially in China, I always give them the option. One is deal with my complaint or help me with the after sales service, or I will start the PayPal dispute process. There's no point just start a PayPal dispute if you haven't done your homework. If you haven't contacted the seller, you haven't tell them what the problem is, you haven't give them a chance to fix what needs to be fixed, PayPal is just another waste of time, because PayPal will come back to you and ask you, okay, what have you done so far? What is the response from the seller? And then PayPal will ask them the same thing. At the end of the day, whichever it swings is going to waste so many hours or days of time. You may as well just contact them directly and tell them that, okay, you know what, if he's not happy if the solution is not happy, not satisfied for me, then I will start the dispute. And sometimes that is enough for them to know that, okay, you know what, something will happen if I don't help this customer out. I also do a lot of videos online and make myself known on the market. So if they don't help me, like sending me a camera which works, I can always leave bad review. And that's happened anywhere on Amazon or even eBay, or any kind of negative feedback. That hurts them a lot more than that dispute and trying to get your money back. Okay, see you next time.